Within the Prospero system, the Space Wolves Legion prepared for battle. While the Rogel Dawn wished to bring Magnus into the fold, Leman Russ despised the Primarch of the Thousand Suns. He viewed his legion as weak, cowardly, and unworthy to be called warriors. The Space Wolf Armada began to systematically destroy the orbital defense platforms orbiting the world of Prospero, sending burning wreckage to drift lifelessly in the icy void of space. Prospero would not survive this day, and Leman Russ smiled at the prospect of not only humiliating, but destroying his sorceress brother. On Prospero's surface, alarms were soon raised. The planet was under attack. Magnus the Red ordered for his legion to prepare for battle, and to ready the various sorceress cults to utilize them in the upcoming conflict. Despite the custodians on the world ordering Magnus that he was forbidden to do so, Magnus responded by saying that if they were to survive this battle, he would accept any form of punishment his father would sentence him. The skies would rain fire as hundreds upon hundreds of drop pods and Thunderhawk gunships began to descend from orbit. Planetary defense lasers fired repeatedly, filling the burning sky with flashes of blue light. And while destroying many, there were simply far too many to stop them all. With thunderous impacts, the drop pods crashed into the planet, and the frenzied warriors of the Space Wolves Legion emerged, charging towards their cousins like frothing berserkers of legend. The thousand sons of the Pyre and Pavoni cults began to open fire with jets of psychic fire and crackling arcs of warp lightning, while the members of the Raptora launched bombardments of large boulders and heavy debris in a desperate attempt to hold back the grey tide of savagery. Devastator Marines and the artillery of the planet's Spire Guard fired continuously, to the point of their weapons glowing red hot and overheating. Leman Russ led his men from the front lines, butchering the mortal Spire Guard soldiers and the Thousand Sons' own assault troops with relative ease. But he began to rage. His men were unable to reach the cowardly sorcerers. As Russ continued to kill and cleave and carve his way through the ranks of the Loyalists, the sky itself began to turn blood red, and a fine mist began to creep along the cracked ground. Magnus the Red himself joined the battle, surrounded by his Terminator-clad bodyguards of the Scarab Occult and the Custodies close behind. The Wolf King howled in bloody fury, swearing an oath he would personally take his brother's head and present it to the War Master. Magnus the Red conjured up a massive storm of ethereal lightning across the battlefield, managing to keep the wolves at bay for a time. Leman Russ himself tried to push forward, feeling the lightning burning his flesh and armor and howling in rage at Magnus's cowardice. He then felt a voice speak to him in his mind, offering him the power to slay the sorcerer in return for blood. And with a thought, the pact was made. Leman Russ howled in torturous pain, a howl so blood-curdling that it was a sound no living being could ever make. He felt his bones lengthen and stretch, his armor buckle and split, and his skull shifted and elongated as the Primarch grew in size. A huge pair of leathery wings emerged from his spine, covered in the tattered remains of human flesh. The Space Wolves closest to him also began to change, their bodies shifting and mutating into roaring, feral, bestial creatures. The creature that was Leman Russ flexed his newly acquired wings, raised his lupine head to the sky and roared.